The title of this lesson today is The Foolish Ones. But before we get started, let's give all glory and honor to Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahushai, Ba'Shem, Rakakadash. Babylonian said, teachers, zealots, and apostles of great millstone. Likewise, brothers are there putting on this truth, faithfully, fearlessly feeding the sheep, and to brothers and sisters tuning in, Shalom. Let's start off with the book of Psalms 118, down verse 8, and it reads, "It is better to trust in the Lord, Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahushai, than to put confidence in man. It is better to trust in the Lord, Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahushai, than to put confidence in princes." Now, let's take a look at that word, better, because it mentions it twice, okay, in that scripture. And this is the ordinary dictionary meaning here. Better. And it means a more excellent or effective type of quality. So basically, the scripture is going into the fact that trusting in Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai is better than putting confidence in man, okay, or in princes. In that case, here in Great Babylon, America, that would be these presidents, these leaders in these communities, okay, these people that exalt themselves, okay, as gods on this earth, meaning who? The so-called white man, Esau, the Edomite. Now, we're going to go into this video, and you're going to see two of the foolish ones that I was talking about in the introduction of this lesson that we're going into today, okay? And you have these two Jakes. Each of these Jakes have a different personality. They're both in the world, okay? They both have that carnal mindset, okay? And they're both seeking to do what, okay? They're both seeking that they can save their community with the help of who? None other than Esau, the so-called white man. So without further ado, let's play the video.
Social media is about talking mess to this person, talking mess to this person, and then at the end of the day, it's gun violence. Instead of using your hands to fight, it's gun violence, and they need to stop that.
Aaron Cardoza is the president of Brother to Brother, aimed at protecting the community and mentoring the youth.
It's all about, do you love your community? Are you concerned about what's going on in your community? I'm out here every day, you know, night and day. You know, when shootings happen, I'm right there on the scene.
This most recent shooting injuring 7 people outside of Rainbow Market.
They found 2 on scene. 1 was transported to an area hospital, and 5 individuals were found at an area hospital who all self-transported, and they also had non-threatening gunshot wounds.
This all happening less than a block away from one of the Brother to Brother buildings where they're preparing for their summer programs.
The whole city need to be funded with different neighborhoods to keep programs like, you know, summer programs going so these kids can stay busy.
City Council member for the district, Sean Laloy, agrees there needs to be more funding.
We need to make sure we're even within the entire city. So as we increase police presence in downtown, well, we need more police presence in this community as well. As we invest in downtown and promote businesses to come in and invest in downtown, it's the city's responsibility to do the same thing.
When you look at this community, I'm asking myself, well, when's the last time this community has really been invested in, right? I'm talking about true transformation.
Barry Axius, the founder of the Voice of the Youth, says all community leaders across Sacramento need to come together to really create the change they want to see.
Because you're not getting down to the root of why issues of violence, the issue of guns are in our communities. That's a lot of a deeper conversation, and it takes more than one person or a few CBOs and even a few public officials in government to solve these issues. It has to be a joint situation.
An effort to restore peace within the city's communities.
At the end of the day, like I said, people just have to be on board and stop being scared of these kids and these youngsters to take back our neighborhoods and keep our neighborhoods safe.
And police tell me they are working with groups like Voice of the Youth and Brother to Brother to try and curb some of this crime we're seeing. They also said they will be patrolling that area more, and that's typical following these type of events. Here in Sacramento, Denny Cahill, KCRA 3 News.
So as you saw in that video, okay, these Jakes, okay, have it all laid out, okay, in a plan, and this plan that they want to execute, okay, has to have Esau involved. And you saw what looked like a Elamite, you know, who is part of the city council, is looking to get involved in this. And we know, okay, at any time you see the so-called white man is getting involved in Jake's life, okay, it ends in only one way, okay, death for Jake, okay. Let's go into the book of Isaiah 30 and starting with verse 1. And it reads, "Woe to the rebellious children, said the Lord Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, that take counsel, but not of me, and are covered with a covering, but not of my spirit, that they may add sin to sin, that walk to go down into Egypt," which we know this place is spiritual Sodom and Egypt, and have not asked at my mouth to strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh, which is these leaders, okay, these city councils, these mayors, these presidents, these abomination creation, okay, Esau the Edomite, the so-called white man, okay, that have exalted themselves, and to trust in the shadow of Egypt, okay, which this place is just darkness. This is the valley of the shadow of death, okay. This place is darkness. And it says, therefore shall the strength of Pharaoh be your shame, and the trust in the shadow of Egypt your confusion. Now, let's go back to verse 1 where it says, woe to the rebellious children, said the Lord Yahweh, to take counsel, but not of me. That word counsel, let's go into the Strong's dictionary here. Now, in case you did not hear that on the recording, which it looks like it didn't play on the recording, it says boule, which means counsel, will, advise, okay? So basically, Jacob returning to Esau for advice, for counsel, okay? Esau is giving him advice on what to do. Henceforth, the first brother, okay, and I'm using that phrase brother loosely, okay, is he has that organization that he thinks that he's using in to so-called help the community, and as a result, he would need the funding, okay, in order for this organization to work. Henceforth, the second brother is asking for a collective, okay, association of men to get together, or organization to get together, to work together, okay, to get this program to work, with the help of Esau, of course, contributing filthy lucre, okay? So they're both, okay, in that mindset that they can somehow save themselves and save the community. They can stop, okay, the activities that is going on in the community. In this case here, you had 7 people that were shot, okay? Let's go into the book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 10, starting with verse 3, okay? Because I'm going to play the clip of the first sheikh, okay? And you can look at his mindset, okay? And when you look at what he's speaking about, you can see where he's baiting Esau. He's baiting Esau to intervene, okay? He's begging for the funding, okay? You can listen as he subliminally asks Esau to assist, okay, in what? Executing young Jakes, because he has a bit of an anger because somehow it's not working for his organization. So I'll play the clip and then we're going to go into the scriptures.
Social media is about talking mess to this person, and then at the end of the day, it's gun violence. Instead of using your hands to fight, it's gun violence, and they need to stop that.
Aaron Cardoza is the president of Brother to Brother, aimed at protecting the community and mentoring the youth.
It's all about, do you love your community? Are you concerned about what's going on in your community? I'm out here every day, you know, night and day. You know, when shootings happen, I'm right there on the scene. At the end of the day, like I said, people just have to be on board and stop being scared of these kids and these youngsters to take back our neighborhoods and keep our neighborhoods safe.
So as you saw in that, okay, this is what he was doing. Just as I said before, I played the clip. This is the book of 2 Corinthians 10 and 4, and it reads, for though we walk in the flesh, we do not war after the flesh, for the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through God to the pulling down of strongholds, casting down imaginations and every high thing that exalted itself against the knowledge of God, and bringing into captivity every thought to the obedience of a Mashiach, and having in a readiness to revenge all disobedience when your obedience is fulfilled. So this is not a carnal warfare. This is not where we are going to have the so-called white man come into the community with his cops, all gun drawn, to take out the so-called bad Jakes, okay, who you deem as bad Jake, okay, so that your organization can thrive. And this is what you can see here as you read. This is a really wicked, carnal-minded Jake right here. And the 2/3 are looking up to guys like this. You know, if you did not really break it down and really listen to his words, you know, in the spirit, he to the rest of the people out there, he seemed like he would be an uplifting guy. But this is a doggone demon right here. And this is who most of our people are putting themselves towards or giving themselves to, because he's doing a good thing. You know, he's doing a great thing. Okay. But in reality, his mind is very carnal. Okay. When we go into the book of Romans 12, starting verse 1, it says, I beseech you therefore, brethren, by the mercies of power, God, that you present your bodies as a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable unto power, God, which is your reasonable service. And be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of power. Now we'll play the second clip, and you will hear this Jake as he talks about transformation.
When you look at this community, I'm asking myself, well, when's the last time this community has really been invested in, right? I'm talking about true transformation.
Barry Axius, the faunder of the Voice of the Youth, says all community leaders across Sacramento need to come together to really create the change they want to see.
Because you're not getting down to the root of why issues of violence, the issue of guns are in our communities. That's a lot of a deeper conversation, and it takes more than one person or a few CBOs and even a few public officials in government to solve these issues.
Transformation. Now, when we go into the Strong's dictionary, okay, and you will not hear this, okay, it pronounces this is Strong's G3339, and it pronounces metamorpho, okay, which means what? To change into another form, to transform, to transfigure, okay? So I just read to you in Romans where it says, 12 and verse 2, it says, and be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by renewing your mind, that ye may be proved what is that is good and acceptable and perfect will of power. Okay, now his view of transformation, okay, is gathering a whole bunch of so-called Negroes together. Maybe you will get these Edomites in, and all these other organizations around the town that are getting the filthy lucre, okay, from City Hall, okay, or whatever government funding that is, and he feel like he's missing out. So he's speaking that eloquent speaking. He's got the beard and everything, like, you know, like a Jake would, but that's what his transformation is. Okay, his transformation is not about renewing his mind, coming out of this world. Okay, understanding your enemy, Esau, the Edomite, the so-called white man, okay, is looking to destroy you. Okay, and that's why you see, like the first Jake there, okay, there's no mention of any change of the mindset of the people that are in the community. Okay, it's always about, can we get help? Which is why I open up with what? The book of Psalms 118, which talk about the fact that it's better, and I brought out the regular meaning of it, the word better, to trust in the Lord Yahweh and put confidence in man, okay, which is these leaders, okay, because the result is never going to be what Jake anticipate. Now you saw with both of those videos with both of those Jakes, and let's conclude this to what this really boils down to. When we go into the book of Ecclesiasticus 12 and start verse 11. It reads, though he humble himself, which is talking about Esau, and go crouching, yet take good heed, and beware of him, and thou should be unto him as if thou hadst wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust had not been altogether wiped away. Okay? Now we know that this when you start with verse 10, it says, never trust thine enemy, for as like iron rusted, so is it wickedness. Esau was created to be wicked. The cop you saw in the video, you think he's there to assist Jake? No, he's there to execute. And all they need to show that just cause are coming through there with guns drawn is these two niggas you see standing up here.
At the end of the day, like I said, people just have to be on board and stop being scared of these kids and these youngsters to take back our neighborhoods and keep our neighborhoods safe.
Because you're not getting down to the root of why issues of violence, the issue of guns are in our communities. That's a lot of a deeper conversation, and it takes more than one person or a few CBOs and even a few public officials in government to solve these issues.
Basically, they've opened their mouth and they're looking and saying, we need you to come inside here and transform this place from what we think is a bad place into what we think could be a good place, like you white folks have out there. Okay? And what does that take? A heavy hand. Just like the first Jake opened his mouth and he said, I am sick and tired, okay, of these little punks, okay, and people need to start being scared of these young people to lay paws on them. And it says, set him not by thee, lest when he had overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place, neither let him sit at thy right hand, lest he seek to take thy seat, and thou at the last remember my words, and be pricked therein. Who will pity a charmer that is bitten with a serpent, or any as such as come nigh with a wild beast. And Esau is a wild beast, a so-called white man, a wild beast. Which when I say the so-called white man, I'm talking about all of them, men, women, and kids. All the way from an infant all the way to the old grubby old cracker like Joe Biden. Okay? They're beasts, they're wild beasts, and they're wicked. Okay? See, the thing with you two Jakes here, and this is typical across Great Babylon America with these wicked ass, weak niggas, is they seek help from Esau, the Edomite, the so-called white man, not from Yahweh Shem Yahshai. They're looking to build credibility with their NPO or non-profit organization, okay, which they put their hands out there to Esau to do what? To give them money, which they're not going to use to do a damn thing because Jake can't solve any damn problem. Okay, we were put here for a reason. We were put in the situation that we put in for a reason. Okay, they're looking to what? Provide assurance of security of life. Okay, to the community, to others like them who have that carnal image, okay, of what the good life is here in Great Babylon, America. Not understand the good life here, okay, is trusting in Yahweh Shem Yahushai. We getting the hell out of this place, man. This is not our place. This is prison. That's why it's called spiritual Sodom in Egypt. Okay, but see, it's not working. See, you know why it's not working? When you go to Deuteronomy 28 and 66, it says, "And thy life shall hang in doubt before thee, and thou shalt fear day and night, and shall have none assurance of thy life." So that how the hell these two doggone niggas think that somehow it could be in a collusion with Esau, okay, and his mayor and his mayors and his organization, who can write a check for them, is going to assure them of their life. Now there's no assurance, okay? Because see, they're looking to be hailed heroes, okay? And both of them are very frustrated that it's not working because it was never meant to work, okay? There's no way out of this except, as I brought in earlier, the book of Psalms 118, where it says, "It is better to trust in the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahshai than to put confidence in man." And that's what we do. We trust in Yahweh Shem Yahshai that he's going to get us out of this place and then destroy this doggone place. That's what we trust in. Not the carnal way that these two simple, weak, foolish ones do here in Great Babylon, America. Lord willing, you edify, let the close by giving all glory and honor to Yahweh by Shem Yahushai by Shem Rakakadash. Babylon said, teachers, elders, and the boss of great millstone. Likewise, brothers said, they're putting the truth faithfully, fearlessly feeding the sheep. And to brothers and sisters tuning in, Shalom.